Hey, mina namn är Joel. And today, another bite of Bergen, and today we're trying out this gimbal. We're now at the Human Rights Plaza, and here you can see you have some statues, figurines as usual, depicting human rights. The Rafto Fund for Human Rights. United Nations, our hope for mankind. So yeah, the Human Rights Plaza, gifted to Bergen in relation to the useful company's 225 years celebration. Artistic decoration made by artist Hans Jacob Meyer. Knowledge, kindness, and kneeling woman. So yeah, this is indeed a knowledge, reading books, and kindness, helping someone falling down, and a kneeling woman. It's quite spot on. Anywho, over here I have an interesting house, like so many in Bergen, of the old kind. It's very ornate, very detailed, and quite peculiar, really. And this is apparently the Human Rights Raft House. And as you can see here, it has a very nice door. And on the top of the wall over the door you see roses, rose embroidery. The wall itself is also quite amusing, because it's the surface indicates that it's probably intended to resemble plants, ivy, the poisonous climbing plant we'll see in many places in the town. Of course, there's some street art of a pigeon and a baby. The building over here is a greenhouse with a lot of exotic plants that can be visited every now and then during the year. It's quite cool, really. So let's moving on then down the street. Oh, and here is a picture of Big Ben, surveillance drones, and an old man, I assume. Oh, and here is another one of those fancy places with blonde edges and decorations. And here is a cat. Yeah. Meow. Yeah, it's indeed a cat. With a bell. Meanwhile, over here you have an alpine villa. As you can see, it comes into view here. You will notice that the building itself is very big, expensive, and old, and also quite unique, because what does an alpine style villa has to do with this town? Probably someone Dutch or Swiss that came to town, had a lot of money, and then decided to build a house on top of the Dragon Mountain in order to, be all rich and influencing. I don't know. But yeah, apparently some years ago it was on sale for roughly 22 million kroners. So it's a house. It is very unique, interesting and special, but Yeah, you need money and you need a reason to own such a house. Oh, and of course you need to maintain it. That is also the very important part. You can't. One of the agreements for owning such a location is to maintain it. And here you have the main entrance. You can see it has to stay the classic everything, you know. Pillars, blonde ornamentations, cast iron. As the usual you will see around the town. I don't know exactly why we have this fascination with black painted cast iron fences and railing, but it's not that different from it's not that different from dealing with, you know, polished aluminum railing. There's a lot of the same vibe. And here you can see another cool house here on the top. You can see it's old, many people apparently live here, and it has one very dope door and entrance with pillars and decorations. It stands in stark contrast to this weird ass statue in the background. Some grazing pigeons. And this yellow house we're going to look at a little bit later. And over yonder we have another interesting house. Yeah. Showing you the gimbal from here. This is also very expensive and really huge and old. And as you can tell, it does the classical imperial style. You know, you have those copy-paste, mass-produced angel ornamentations and pillars inspired by Rome. Roman and Greek architecture. And of course we have another villa of sorts. This one is not quite as well maintained, but it's just as cool. Of course, it's in dire need of a new paint job. But black houses is not very common. It's usually white. That's the most common color in or coloration in town. And you can see here, it has one of those extremely absurd door decorations. It looks prongs on a wheel and more of those protruding ledges. I don't know exactly what you call them. You put out these ledges that is supposed to look to make shelves sticking out of the wall more interesting. As if you look at this modern balcony over here, right? It has no such thing, so it looks kind of flat and bland. Meanwhile, even the short ledges under the roof has objects. So you can tell it's a bit of an oddity. It's purely based on aesthetics. And with such with most of these spaces, guess what? An elaborate pillar huge entrance that looks like a temple. And you have those weird bronze style domes with more cast iron. Yeah. You know, this stuff here, this town never gets enough of it. Oh yeah, and here on the side, you can see there's even more decoration and stuff, and this balcony has even more pillars. And on top there's a dome that you can probably get on top of. It would be awesome to get there, but I can't. And let's carry on, my wayward son. You can rest when we're done. Don't you pray for my soul anymore. And yeah, and here you have a gnarly tree. Literally, look at that thing. It's kind of cool. But damn, that's one mutated tree. Here a dope playground and men on how to train. So we are now here in Nygårdsparken. It's a really big green area in the middle of the town. That starts from the top of the hill and goes all the way to the bottom, connecting two different parts. But as with everything, it is all land has a reputation due to the occupants that tended to stay there for a while. And here you have the wartime memorial, some young boy with a rifle commemorating those who fell for Norway during the occupation. There's a lot of that going around town. And here you have a communal house. Whoever has the key can arrange for stuff. To have an outdoor party or cafe or some such. And yeah, you can tell the age, and you can tell a lot about the age and the century this park was made, due to it having a fountain in the middle squirting water all throughout the summer. Now, looking over here, we have more cool buildings with excessive scenery. Perfect, inspiration for games. So if you want to design the next Dark Souls, you just look up the park road in Bergen, and you have all the architecture references you need to make something unique. And here we have a tower. Why? I don't know. I just decided I wanted a tower on top of the building. And more pillars. Square this time, and more wall decorations. Yes. Oh, so many more wall decorations. And over here is a hotel as well. They even have a span-breaking new air condition. Yeah. And they are taking care of the surface, so this could be a real nice hotel. You just need to get a bit walk out of the way to find it. Which makes it even more beautiful to visit. Now we're coming over to another yellow house. I'm also doing my best to avoid all of the students and pedestrians. They are boring. They are not part of my video. So Ida Blomshus, Center for the Study of Science and Humanities and Women and Gender Research. So yeah, this is a very old house with not a lot of notable history, but as you can see here, it's well taken, it's mediocrely taken care of and has an elaborate entrance. Where you have flower beds with the cherub babies, the cherub angels, and here you have Poseidon statues, because you need those. And over the door there is a statue as well. That one does not look good at all. And yeah, it's a figurine of Poseidon holding up the rain cover over the door. And if video games have taught me anything, it's not that how to be violent or become a killer, but how to become a builder and a climber. I see this place and I see, I could probably parkour up there. Should I? No, but I could. And there you can tell almost all of the effort went to the facade, as the backside is very unremarkable outside of that wooden protrusion you're looking at here. That seems to be woefully out of place. So in essence, this is a place for study and a bunch of offices, with a lot of doodads and bits and bobs connected to the University of Bergen. And here you can see an even more elaborate decoration on top, because all the way up there you have another figurine. It's almost impossible to see, and yet another one further down. And you have the balcony railing. The fencing is also very elaborate. And the good thing with the paint job and the surfaces and the placement is that it's going to last there for a long time. And here you have those half-naked chubby cherubs, because those are all over the place. Now we're coming back to the insane pillars, and this is probably the Athene statue of Athene, a goddess statue. Very likely. And as I keep walking down the street, you realize that the only thing that stops the mail is the next stop. There's another street full of these peculiar houses. Apparently these are not as old as they look, and not as well taken care of. And you can see the downside of having so many ornamentation is simply wear and tear, because everything decays. And here is a study building, conference hall and swimming pool and all of that for the university. Not much to write home about. It has an auditorium in the middle called the Egg. So here in front of me we have the university garden and the museum. I will make a video about that later. It's especially beautiful once everything is in bloom. A very popular rest and relaxation area with a lot of good food, and inside there is a museum with a collection of inside there's a museum with a collection. I haven't been there yet or in a while, so I will go there eventually and make a video. And over here you have barrel vaults and a cross vault. So this is very liminal and very cool. And also you have to deal with a bit of reverb. As you can see, it's in dire need of some attention. Because it's old, very, very old. So let's say and you have this. Here you have the maintenance shed. Once you go up here, you see it resembles a bit the same sort of architectural direction style as the White House, I would say, where you have a big round section. So in this garden there's a lot of plants from all over the world, and that's some of them why it's called the university garden, because they are studying, keeping and maintaining exotic vegetation. Such as these funky ones. And as you can see, the architect had a fascination with lions. And over here is another museum. And in front of me here, I was going to go outside of the garden, you have a library. Nothing peculiar over there. It's a place where you can study and borrow curriculum books for the university. So now that when you get around this to the front of the, let's see the back side, and now it's time to see the front side, the front face of this very magnificent building. Here we have, you see, you have more pillars, and then you have a figurine, a bust of the goddess, of a Greek goddess. And over here you have an old building with more bronze and ornamentation, next to a white building that looks kind of bland and boring. Let's see if we can get this a decent angle here. Yeah, it's a bit hard to see with the sun in my eye. And when I say the architect had a fascination with lions, I do mean it. Hey, look at this magnificent lion statue. Ooh, that's how you make a hippogriff thingy. Ah, perfect plan. And of course you have one of the fun founders on top. Something 1814. And then you get over here. There's another university building. I can tell it's a bit absurd in some degree because it has another tower-ish structure on top. Why? I don't know. But you have to admit, oh, towers are kind of cool. Towers, spires, and protruding decorations. Especially once you compare it to the more clean and sterile surfaces of modern architecture. You can say what you want about the town, but these buildings are not afraid to sport a little color. There is, even though yellow edge coloring and reddish bricks on a purple, beige and brown base is not what I expect. But it's a cool contrast and a bit unique. So there's that. Whoa, there's even a tiny little street tree. That was always neat. And yes, the electric kick bikes have taken over town. And for a good reason. It works. And ooh. Apparently there's some violin maker that has the workshop here. And here was a fight between two battalions in 1869. Nygard and Nordennes. Don't know much about that, but it has historical significance. And you should never dismiss history. Oh yeah. I mentioned that here are more wall decorations. And you guessed it. Another tower. And then we go down the street and you will see this it's another a bit out of the way hotel. Hotel Park Pension. And look at this entrance party. Quite not everyone can afford such a thing. I keep walking down the street and see it has some of those curved domes here and there. And then wait a minute. I just realized something with the window. With this wall. These windows are fake. Fake windows. Yeah. Yep. They're literally painted on the wall. Or printed on the walls. But yeah, there's also this strange Viking sculpture thing here. This skull-less Viking with only a face. Guess what? It has a spire. And this building, another tower. Another one. And you have wall faces. Right. I'm pretty sure they were bought in. I was convinced that there was some company that just produced decorations of that nature in bulk. So then the architect and the building company just buys them, order them, and you glue it onto the wall and call it a day. Yeah, here is also a nice neighborhood, but it is not quite as elaborate as the previous one. Just slightly. But it's colorful and you have a little patch of property outside the door. And down here you have Grieghall, the Grieg, popular concert, popular location for certain events that requires a stage. Very expensive though. So used for different conventions and concerts and stage plays. And here's more refurbishing going on. And that is always good. Yeah, okay, I'm convinced. Somebody ordered these things in bulk. We have more decorations. And you can see this house next to it also has the exact same windows. And more stained, more iron fencing. So yeah, you can tell that somebody really loved their a certain age, 1800 or so, really enjoyed a particular art direction, architectural visual language. That's what you call it. A specific visual language. Now we're back here again. So I intend to follow the street down and then look at some more. And yeah, look at these ornamentation and pillars. This is practically Baroque. And yeah, now walking past the university again. Well, there is more I wanted to highlight. Aside from the lion and aside from the lion entrance. As with everything in town, there's always something to be seen, something you can see. So over here, for example, there is another Poseidon statue. Yeah. By now you have probably noticed that Norway really likes half or fully naked people as statues or on surfaces. But this house here is also a bit dope and radical. More of that empire style. Where essentially everything is more or less a Baroque nightmare if you want to do maintenance. But visually interesting if you time nonetheless. Yeah, it's the Institute for Politics and Conservation, or resource maintaining. And then we walk past a very convenient, practical store if you need things copied in bulk, or need a photo print or something, or a poster. Of course they're going to take money for it, but it's in the long run cheaper than an HP printer will ever be. And since we're in town, there's always room for a place to buy kebabs. Here is another cafe. A little bit of a nice sign solution. And here is one of those bodegas where you can buy a little bit of everything. And we're gonna going to end with this fascinating little out-of-place restaurant. This bar that makes no sense in the grand scheme of things, but it's here and it's there. I see everything around here is tall and towering, but this one is small and compact, with hardly enough room for anything. Anyways, I'm Joel and I'm signing out.